the sixth pronoun as a subordinating conjunction to link the subordinate clause as a pronoun is the subordinating conjunction which. The speaker links the subordinate clause to the main clause with the pronoun which as a subordinating conjunction. The speaker applies the pronoun which as a subordinating conjunction to indicate a part of the subject or object in the predetermined range of the subject or object. As we will deal with the application of the pronoun which in the subordinate clause as a subordinating conjunction to link the subordinate clause that also has the trait as a pronoun. We accept that the pronoun which indicates a subject or an object that is a person or it's not a person. The pronoun which indicates subject or object that is in the predetermined range of the speaker sets the premise before the speaker states the subordinate clause with the pronoun which. From now on, we will study about the way to convert an interrogative clause with the interrogative pronoun which into a declarative subordinate clause and link the subordinate clause to the main clause. There is a sentence. I write which is available. The speaker indicates the object to receive the definition of the transitive verb write from the speaker as the subject with the subordinate clause which is available that is linked to the main clause by the pronoun which as a subordinating conjunction. The speaker indicates the object of the transitive verb write with the subordinate clause which is available. The pronoun which applied as a subordinating conjunction indicates the subject whose condition is described by the be verb is and the adjective available in the subordinate clause. The described subject in the subordinate clause is the object of the transitive verb write in the sentence. The sentence is the integration of the two conferences. The first conference to become the main clause is this. I ride a bicycle. The interrogative clause as the second conference to become the subordinate clause is this, which is available. The speaker links the subordinate clause to the main clause because the speaker figures out the correspondence between the subject indicated by the interrogative pronoun which and the object of the transitive verb write in the first declarative clause. So, the speaker applies the interrogative pronoun which as a subordinating conjunction. The speaker replaces the phrase of the noun of bicycle into the subordinate clause as an indication as a whole. The speaker applies the pronoun which as a subordinating conjunction because the object to receive the definition of the transitive verb write from the speaker as the subject corresponds with the subject indicated by the interrogative pronoun which, whose condition is described by the be verb is. The speaker applies the interrogative pronoun which as a subordinating conjunction to link the subordinate clause which is available to the main clause. There are two more sentences. The second sentence is this: Jesus Christ lends us which is precious. The speaker indicates the direct object and the definition of the transitive verb lend from the subject, Jesus Christ, to the indirect object, us, with the subordinate clause, which is precious, linked to the main clause by the pronoun which, applied as a subordinating conjunction. The speaker indicates the direct object with the subordinate clause, which is precious. The subject described in the subordinate clause is conveyed to the indirect object, us. The definition of the transitive verb lend is conveyed to the indirect object, us, from the subject, Jesus Christ. The be verb is describes the condition of the subject that the pronoun which indicates in the subordinate clause linked to the main clause by the subordinating conjunction which. The subject described in the subordinate clause has the role as the direct object in the sentence. From the definition of the be verb is 1. Which does not participate in the conversation with the speaker, of the subject whose range is predetermined by the pronoun which is determined. This is revealed with the form of the be verb is. From the application of the subordinating conjunction which, the listeners can understand that there can be subject to be described by the predicate in the subordinate clause is precious, but the speaker indicates one of range. The speaker describes the subject with the be verb is. The listeners can understand that the chosen subject is singular and does not participate in the conversation with the speaker. The sentence is integrated from the two conferences. The first conference to be the main clause is this: Jesus Christ lends us a treasure. The second conference, that is the interrogative clause, to be the subordinate clause is this: which is precious. The speaker applies the pronoun which as a subordinating conjunction because the direct object indicated by the phrase of the noun, a treasure, corresponds with the subject indicated by the interrogative pronoun which. The speaker links the two clauses because of the accordance between the pronoun, the subordinating conjunction which, and the phrase of the noun, a treasure, that is the direct object in the first conference. The speaker links the subordinate clause which is precious to the main clause with the application of the pronoun which as a subordinating conjunction. The speaker replaces the direct object of treasure, figured out the pronoun which. The speaker replaces the direct object of treasure with the subordinate clause, which is precious. The third sentence is this: Jesus Christ flows which originate from the Holy Church. The speaker indicates the object to receive the definition of the transitive verb flows from the subject, Jesus Christ, with the subordinate clause which originate from the Holy Church, linked to the main clause by the pronoun which as a subordinating conjunction. The speaker indicates the object of the transitive verb flows with the subordinate clause which originate from the Holy Church. The pronoun which, applied as a subordinating conjunction in the subordinate clause, indicates the subject or subject that participates in the conversation with the speaker from the definition of the intransitive verb originate and the range of the predetermined subject. The subject indicated by the subordinating conjunction which is described by the intransitive verb originate. The original form of the intransitive verb originate reveals that the subject, the described subject, is or participates in the conversation with the speaker. The sentence is the two conferences. The first conference, to be the main sentence, is this: Jesus Christ flows the eternal love and truth that is always righteous. The second conference, that is the interrogative clause, to be the subordinate clause, is this: which do originate from the Holy Church. The speaker applies the pronoun which as a subordinating conjunction because the object of the transitive verb flows, indicated by the phrase of the nouns, the eternal love and truth that is always righteous, correspond with the subject indicated by the pronoun which. We can figure out that the object of the transitive verb flows are plural, and the speaker links the two conferences because of the accordance between the interrogative pronoun which and the object of the transitive verb flows. The speaker replaces the object of the transitive verb flows, the eternal love and truth that is always righteous, into the subordinate clause, which originates from the Holy Church. The speaker applies the pronoun which as a subordinating conjunction to link the subordinate clause to the main clause.